All right, guys, so I haven't been making videos as consistently as I would like. I apologize for that, but it's been very, very busy. I've been doing, tuning vids. I just haven't posted it. So on today's episode, I'm just going to cover some things I want to cover. One of the interesting things is we're doing a Kiggly 12-tooth, and I'm going to just go over how to kind of do that, what that is, and how we're going to use that to our advantage. We're doing it on a 6-bolt, but it's pretty much the same on EVOs and 8s and 9s. Also, I'm going to make this episode is also going to be a few cars that I'm going to show briefly what tuning and tuning results, what I went through, a couple of fails. Tuning isn't always, or working on cars in general, it always doesn't go according to plan, right? You put the car on the dyno, ish happens. So I'm just gonna give you clips of few things that I ran into, some successes, others not. But before we do that, Ethan's 2G conversion, 2G to a 6-bolt. So he has a 2G that's usually a 7-bolt motor that we put a 6-bolt in, and we're doing a complete build. And this is what we're going to use as an example. So we've been gathering parts and putting everything together. He's gonna have, this is fully built. This has Cali crank 2.0 billet crank. Is gonna have the S3 cams. Zona 95 turbo, and we're using a Kiggly. So I want to go over what that is. So the 6Gs do not, the 1Gs 6-bolt do not come with a crank angle sensor. So we put one. Basically, this is what the kit comes with. This is a Kiggly billet 12-tooth pickup because it's 12 tooth. The sensor gets put right here, and it basically picks up the signal from the crank. And then this gets connected. Well, you cannot use this on an OEM ECU. It has to be an aftermarket. So this gets connected to your aftermarket ECU as a crank angle sensor. So that's basically it. It's pretty easy. I might do an in-depth, like how to, which bolt, which blah, 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 this, that, maybe later on. But right now, that's the update. What's his name? Tyler, his car's still at the paint shop. Jose's car is about to get sent out, his engine, to get everything machined from the machine shop. We fixed his transfer case. Everything's good to go. And then basically that's it. So right now, let's read some comments, because I saw some comments that I've wanted to reply to. I have, but I want to bring up. But let's read some comments I think I left off in February or April. And let's move forward on that, and then we'll cover the tuning aspect of the episode. All right. All right. So I think we left off on the FP Black. So let's just do the next one. Let's see, which one is this? Oh, okay. So this is Jacob's car. Let's go down. So quite a bit of comments. All right. So Jed said, not surprised, the motor is just an air pump. I saw giant gains on 4060 when I went to Raceport head with 1 millimeter. Okay. So this car basically is a stock bottom end, and he just has the ported head with S2 cams or Kelford C cams, Kelford B cams, sorry. Dual springs, MyVec delete, oversized valves. This was meant for one of our race cars that's gonna get done, but Jacob was in a short, I guess he didn't have time, so he wanted to get it done. So we just gave him that head. and we kept his, and we're building his head. So I think it made like 568 or something on stock block on E85. Okay, so where's the shop located? Again, we're located in Illinois. I have an EVOX with FP Red, E85, 1300cc Busher double pumper. I make 572 on dyno jet, but I have a stock Manny. Do you think I would gain significant more power to justify buying an 1100 tubular manifold? You know, it depends on what you want. The tubular manifolds will spool a little late, but you'll bake a little bit more up top. It holds spools better. But I think for a stock block, I think the stock Manny's perfect. Just try to get it ported if you can. And if you do crack it, just get another one. MyVec delete or just exhaust or intake also. I don't know what that means, but it's exhaust MyVec delete. As you know, that the exhaust MyVec kind of warps over time, and especially with very tough springs, so people delete them. I like the MyVec. I'm sorry, I like the Magnus, but there are other alternatives which I don't like because those don't sometimes work properly. How much is stage 3 head go for? And if you're not gonna build a bottom end, we just said stage 3, but every time we say it, it's easier than saying our drag motor. So basically, stage 3 would be like the drag. Everything is ported as much as we can, meant for big cams, tough springs, oversized valves, etc. But stock bottom, you could just go with the street head that we have is basically just springs, retainers, and cams, and the springs and retainers matching the cams, and then bucket shimmed and lash adjusted and all that stuff. So I would definitely recommend the stage 1 or the street one. Then there's stage 2, which is street and strip, so you could kind of, it's the best of both worlds, made for bigger cams like S2 or Calford C. Alright, I have heard there are issues with 4B11 running larger valves, having boost leaks. Is that true? Not that I heard of. How much for eTune session? That varies on your setup. You can email me or contact with me and we'll go over it. David Shirley, aka Tefra, he said, nice, decent gains from just a head build. That's right. David knows. Head is where the game's at, right? How much boost for power you pushed? I think this was on 25 or 26 psi. Adrian Vega, got a quick question, boss. I'm pretty sure it's fine. On the head, I was replacing the valve seals, and I slightly dinged the surface, which removes the OEM ones while removing the OEMs. I ding where the seal sits on the head, on the outer portion, not the tube section. The ring area, I guess I don't know what he means, but if you're nicked on the cam valley or where the springs and retainer side, you're fine. If you nicked it on the other side, the mating surface, you got to get it surfaced. If you had a built bottom end and Kelford C cams with the built head, everything to support E85, could the stock GTR Gen 2 make power wise? I think it'll do 700 plus. We have a very good test car in our shop right now, Stefan's car, and we're going to test it probably this week if everything goes well, and we'll see, but I think 700 plus. How much does your stage 3 head retail for? Again, it's an overkill for most people. I wouldn't suggest it. I would do like the street strip version, and somewhere anywhere between $1,800 to $3,000 depending on where you're getting done. What upper intercooler hose is used and what intake? I think we are using the MAP 3.5 inch intake on this car. Upper intercooler hose, I don't know what that is. When are you gonna tune my eBay Turbo Civic? Whenever you're ready. We actually tuned a few ones, and I just didn't make a video because it was just quick. We need to get the car out of the shop real quick. That's great gains from simply adding a build head. Perhaps I should get my hands on one of these. Yeah, you should. How far would you feel comfortable revving the stock bottom end with the build head? Probably 8K. Good video, keep it up, thank you. Nice video as well. Quick question, do you know what clutch is he running on the X? It's either XZT twin or ACT twin. This is my new favorite channel, been watching. Thank you, Dustin. Jeremy, just found your channel, been watching all your vids. I'm very curious into turbo recommendation for 550 to 600 range. I don't want to get big of a turbo. Again, FP Black or GTX3576. This is a big motivation for me to get my 3586. Very good. I hope you go through with it. Great job, guys. This is same power goal. Yeah, most people have stock block. I mean, that's the limit. I have that goal. Always big fan. Always watching. I'm just crying right now seeing you're doing an EVOX while mine is down. Well, sorry. Every car is always down at some point. So, man, I wish you could tune my car when it's done, getting closer and closer all the time. Well, hit me up. Appreciate the content, bro. Been watching. Thank you. Fire video. Keep up the good work. Thank you. Need to take this route. Thanks for the checkpoints through the tuning process. I try. A lot of it is in my head. I forget the camera's there sometimes. There's a lot of little details that I miss, and I don't sometimes say anything because people might take it the wrong way and end up doing something else. Alright, so that's it for this one, and let me show you now. Let's go on to actually the tuning sessions. Some fails, some successes, but just want to show that this is not a perfect world, right? I edit the videos to make it seem seamless because I think most people aren't here for the info, but I think I'm going to show you on this what are some of the challenges I go through, and we'll comment on that at the end. I'll give some advice about what you need to be getting done before you bring your car in to not just my shop, any place. Just help out the tuner, help yourself, and have certain things ready. All right. I don't know if you remember Omar.
What up?
You had the
SOAR. I had the SOAR.
Right. With the ECUmaster.
Yes.
All right. So you traded that bad boy in for this one.
Yes.
This is what, 07?
07. Yes.
07. 427. It's still 7.0, right?
Yes. 7.07.
All right. What kind of cams you got?
It's called straight line lumberjack cam.
Okay. And you have full exhaust, built motor, right?
Full exhaust. I got Vasco cylinder heads, LSXR, intake manifold, you know, American Racing headers, long tube headers, and Acropovic exhaust.
Right. You had some issues, but you fixed it.
Yes. Yes.
Everybody knows about the heads on these things.
Yeah.
Today we're tuning an Evo, one of my favorite setups, and something I would recommend for anyone. Let me turn this fan off. But today I want to address something that a lot of people ask me. Hey, what's your favorite setup for stock block or maxing it out or 500? So I'm going to show you. We have a client from Missouri with a 2010 that actually has that. And this is probably the bone stock way to get to 500 safely on flex fuel or E85, whatever. We obviously know what happens when you do head work. We have videos for that, but this is completely bone stock. Injectors, turbo, intake, exhaust, manifold, intercooler, and that's basically gonna tune. And fuel pump. So let's see how this does on our dyno. So the issue with Vic was we ran out of fuel, as in his fuel pump stopped working. We had some line issues. He created his own line. There were some leaks. We fixed it on the dyno. So a typical, 2-hour dyno session, 3-hour dyno session turned into half a day. And his fuel pump basically just gave out. So we had to stop it here. He was on his way to making 500 plus. He did, however, he went back home, he fixes his fuel issue, but then we ran into where he needed a timing service. So now he's back, he's going to do a clutch job, and he's actually getting a stage 2 head, which is basically the street strip. No porting, just, springs, retainers, and cams. So same setup. Again, we're going to see what the difference is with the basic head work. So that's probably going to happen in 3 weeks. Hey, welcome back. Another episode of these mofos. You hear that bullshit? Lower the music, please. Listen to that BS. Yeah, I should have asked in the interview before they got hired what kind of music you listen to, because they be listening to that mumble rap. And Landon, you're in that the really bad reggaeton, right?
I'm in the what?
Into that really bad reggaeton?
Oh yeah.
I mean, there's good ones and bad ones, and he's into the bad ones. The tasteless ones. Alright, so we're back. A little update. Sal is still waiting for his turbo. We got the motor mounts for Nick. But this is a Lancer, so we really have to press that out and insert a new one. Nothing is really from the Evo fits in this one except for the front one. We have to do it for the same for the back. I got my welder coming, I think, this week, so we're gonna hook this up. Supra, he actually came in with some ignition issues. We replaced, got a harness going, IGN-1A coils, before the car was idling and everything, and he was saying that, hey, it keeps the fuse keeps blowing or whatnot. So we found the issue in his harness. Well, the ECUmaster EMU black, the old box. the two plugs that go in, one of them had the locks broken, and I think the
I think it was this top one.
yeah, the pins were touching, so we just replaced them, repinned them, and redid it. So I think it's gonna be fine. What else we got? Cruzito waiting for a turbo. We got Jose. We're doing a head job, rebuilding a T-case, and a few other things in the tune. And we got the Subaru over here, Simon Subaru. He had that infamous P0018. We found the issue. It was off timing. The belt's kind of damaged too, so we're gonna replace that. He says the motor is built. He wants us to check. We're gonna do a compression test. We're gonna take out the pan and see what's up, what kind of internals he got. After that, it's a tune. It should be alright. Yo, Simon's head is in. You want to see it? Oh, not Simon. Jose's head.
Yeah, let's see.
Came out pretty good. This is a beautiful car, by the way. I might lowball him. That's what we do, right, on the forums? The guy's asking for like 24,000. What happens? Oh, would you take 5? Who has what? All right. So with Jose, the machine shop does their thing. We actually do the valves and everything in house. He got the GSC springs and retainers, and then he got the valves, the Fiera valves. New everything, new deck. That's what the machine shop did. I think it's gonna be good. Just gonna bleed the lifters, put everything in. But while we were checking everything out, we noticed that his transfer case wasn't right. The half shaft was stuck in there, and it looked like the connection bearing was, well, the tooth inside was kind of messed up. So we took everything apart. Everything looked good, a little worn, you know, to be expected from driven cars, but this is a ACD case. We're gonna put everything back together, clean it up, change all the seals, and then basically put it back together. I think it'll be fine, right? We got the new half shaft coming. That's what was messed up. But today we're tuning a stock WRX, stockish, stock turbo, right? He's got a front mount intercooler, but we're tuning him, and then basically that's it. So, all right, on to it. So we had to stop here. He would have made, I would say 30 or 40 more horses, but his tire was rubbing like crazy on the driver's side, I think, to a point where it was causing a lot of issues, and we had to stop it here. I mean, that's something you guys, people who are coming in for tuning, should be aware of, that tires will rub. Do your best. Stock tires are the best for all-wheel drive vehicles. If you have oversized tires and wheels, we need to address it, get your fender rolled or whatever. Alright, so he was happy. The car feels really good on the street. It's just that we had an issue dynoing this car, and a lot of the graph to me didn't look right, because one was the wheel issue. Our dyno did trip the differential between back and front wheel speeds. So there was an issue there as well. So the issue with this car is it developed a leak on the dyno, and it's not a boost leak that we could just fix on the dyno. It's something severe. So we've done a smoke test afterwards, and this was the result. It's leaking from where the V-band meets the exhaust, the V-band clamp, and the turbo to head manifold gasket is leaking. Also the compressor side of the turbo is leaking a bit, and the throttle body. So we gotta, you know, go back to the drawing board and fix all this stuff out and put it back on the dyno. But you know, we do our best that you can to get your car going properly. I would suggest before you actually go on the dyno, check for boost leaks, vacuum leaks, actually pressurize the system, smoke it if you can, or pay the pay somebody to do it. But this really will help you make everything work out better. If you're doing e-tunes, that's a must. Also, gapping your plugs, ask your tuner what plugs and what gap they prefer. Also fuel quality, you know, make sure it's a good fuel. What else? Leaks, like just in general. Sometimes even the tires and the wheels also makes a difference on the dyno. But whatever it is, just have the tick marks, as all the tuners will tell you that, hey, do this or do that, and just make sure it is done. And that's it, guys. Thank you for watching. Until next time, we got some more tuning videos, but very specific detailed tuning videos coming up. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe, and thank you for watching.